Welcome to the deep dive. We got that Rizon Crypto Card review you shared, so today we're cutting through the noise, our mission. Figure out fast if this thing is legit, actually usable for spending stablecoins securely. Or is it just vaporware?
Right. And the quick takeaway, it actually looks pretty functional, seems legit. It's run by Rizon Global Inc. out of Delaware, and the info says it works in, over 110 countries?
Wow, 110. That's pretty big reach.
Yeah, for anyone needing that cross-border stablecoin use, that scope is, significant.
Okay, let's unpack that because, in crypto, speed is often the killer app. What's the absolute fastest way someone can start spending with this?
Well, it looks like it's built for speed. As soon as you sign up, bang, you get a virtual Visa card. And it works instantly with Apple Pay or Google Pay. So you can spend those stablecoins almost immediately.
Instant access. That's appealing, definitely. But it makes you wonder about security, doesn't it? How do they manage that trade-off, speed versus keeping funds safe?
That's the crucial part. They use a self-custodial wallet. So what that means for you, the user, is Rizon never actually holds your private keys. You keep full control over your USDC and USDT.
Self-custody, okay. The gold standard, basically.
Exactly. You hold the keys, not them. That's how they handle the security risk on their end, by putting it, back onto you.
But if I hold the keys, then the responsibility's on me too.
Right.
The review mentioned some extra security features, Face ID, pass keys. Why are those needed if I have the keys?
Precisely because you hold the keys. Those features, like Face ID and passkeys, they're your defense lines. Think SIM swap attacks, hackers trying to get remote access to your keys. These add layers, biometric key protection, specifically because Rizon isn't the custodian. They're helping you protect yourself.
Got it. Okay. Let's shift to utility then. The source claims this Rizon Visa works at, over 100 million places? Merchants, ATMs, worldwide. That sounds huge. And this works because it's stablecoins, right? USDC and USDT pegged to the dollar.
Absolutely. That huge acceptance. It comes from using stablecoins. They're predictable, easily handled by payment networks because they track fiat. So yeah, it makes spending globally pretty straightforward.
Okay, acceptance sounds great. But the cost, they say no hidden fees, no maintenance fees, sounds too good to be true. How do they make money? Where's the catch?
Yeah, I always got to look for the catch, right? You're right to ask. Okay, so depositing and spending in US dollars, free. But there is one clear mandatory charge, a $10 fee, one time, just to issue the virtual card.
Ah, okay, so $10 up front.
Yep. You're essentially paying for that instant access and the self-custody setup right at the start.
And internationally. Any hidden sting there?
Well, it's the usual caveat for any international card use, really. Foreign transaction fees might apply if you spend in, say, euros or yen, even with stable coins. Always worth double-checking those FX rates they use.
Right, standard stuff. Okay, final point, limitations. What's the biggest thing people absolutely need to know? The main constraint.
The biggest one, definitely, is the coin support. It's only USDC and USDT. That's it. No Bitcoin, no Ether, no other altcoins, strictly those two stable coins.
Very specific niche then.
Exactly. And also, while the virtual card is instant, the physical cards, they mention them, but they seem to be rolling out slowly. So if you want plastic, you might have to wait a bit.
Okay, so let's sum up this deep dive. The review paints Rizon as, a pretty fast, user-friendly way to spend stablecoins across the globe, built on that self-custody model.
Yeah, connecting the dots, the value is clear if you're holding USDC or USDT and want to spend it without giving up your keys. But that laser focus, only those two stable coins, it really limits the audience, doesn't it? Makes it very much a tool for fiat-pegged crypto spending.
Definitely a focus tool.
Yeah.
So considering how much they push the security of self-custody and that speed, here's a final thought for you to chew on.
Yeah.
How would a platform like this need to change its whole approach, its security model, maybe even user responsibility, if they ever wanted to add something volatile like Bitcoin? That balance seems tricky, something to think about.